What's up, guys? It's Lugo back with Flex Appeal episode 35. Today was a leg day. I started off with some pause squats, and honestly, I've been liking how my squat form has been improving. I feel like the combination of upper mobility, shoulder girdle stuff, and like just bottoming out at the bottoming out, sitting at the bottom of a squat, body weight with for like 5 minutes has really helped to open up my my inner thighs as well as my quads, and it honestly has done a lot for that purpose. Um, but I kind of wanted to continue on the topic yesterday that I was talking about, but kind of in a different sense where I told you that you have to fall in love with the process, but a lot of people they don't understand that the process is fucking boring. If you look at any high level athlete or even businessmen, like the shit that you have to do to get to that high level is painstakingly boring. There's nothing that's very exciting about it, but the reason that it's that people can do it is because they fall in love with the process. But the actual process itself, it's boring. Like if I were to relate this to fitness, it's like people try to reinvent, or I mean, research is always coming out about the optimal way to train, but when you actually get down to training, it's quite boring. Like unless you really love training, it's really simple how to get big, you know? Whether it's a certain rep scheme or a certain exercise, you still have to do it and you're always going to have to work very hard at it. Like that's the basis of every of how to get big. Regardless of whatever it is that you're doing, you have to try really hard at it. That's I think something that has always and will always remain the same, which a lot of people they don't really do. Like they do an exercise and they leave a million reps in the tank because they don't know what training within proximity to failure is. And so they end up just doing reps and reps and reps, and then they never get close to failure. And they never try. And I think that that's a mistake, because whether you agree or disagree about training to failure, you need to be training within proximity of failure to make significant progress in the gym. That's something that the research has always suggested. The only thing that's been changing is exercise selection and the rep range at which you should be training within failure to maximize hypertrophy. Which right now it's like people are seeming to trend towards like 4 to 8 reps, and even lower than four, like 3 to 8 reps, or maybe even lower than that. But before that, it was like 8 to 12, and then 12 to 20. So the rep range is always changing, but the effort is something that always needs to remain high. And it's the same thing with diet, dude. Diet is so boring and simple. Once you know how to manipulate your macros to lose weight or to change you know your body, it's so boring, because all it is just filling your diet with stuff that you like at the end of the day. And then you can get into the intricacies of processed versus non-processed foods, micronutrients and stuff like that. And that I think matters more for your internal health than it does on your external appearance for what most people are chasing in your performance. I think relatively speaking, your performance won't really take a big hit, but your joints and your tendons, ligaments, tissue, and stuff like that can be positively impacted by micronutrients. But as far as performance goes, I don't really think there's a huge difference, in my experience. But it's really simple, like, and if you don't truly love this, you're never going to stick to it. And it's the reason why so many people fail as well, because everybody's looking for a get fit quick scheme, something they can use to cheat the system or to make gains fast, and it doesn't exist. It there's reason to believe that at some point that maybe will exist with a pill, or with genetic rerouting or whatever it may be, but as far as it goes now, it doesn't exist. You have to put the work in. That's the worst part for so many people, is that whatever state you're in, it's going to take years to get out of that state. At least at least 6 months, and maybe even a year, you know. And the only way that you could enhance that is with PEDs, but they come with their own potential risks of downsides that I'm not going to talk about. But even then, you still need 6 months to a year minimum to make significant changes. So uh, this was a long rant of stuff, because I tend to feel like people overcomplicate things, and when they don't need to be, right? There's certain things that you can complicate, like training specifically towards your genetics is something that I feel like is very good to complicate, because it helps you get the most out of your weaknesses. But as far as nutrition goes, it's so simple, man. Like it's not rocket science. It never has been. Um, that's pretty much it, guys. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like, comment, or subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow for my secondary pull day. Thanks for watching.